So for my concealer today, I have 3 shades here. So in this order, this is light, this is medium, and this is dark. The one in the middle is almost like my foundation shade. Today, to give a little bit of more highlight, I'll go in with the lighter one first on the inside so that the brightness peaks from underneath the one that is my skin shade. Sometimes after blending all that and using your skin shade tone foundation on top of it, it might tone it down a little. What might help is your setting powder baking. If you allow the setting powder to sit there for a while, or you can go ahead to apply the lighter one a little bit more and then blend before you set. And I'm focusing this on the inner corners of my eyes, not too much, you know. There's no reason why we do this really, except just not to have a lot when you put all over. But when you blend this, you still blend it towards and it covers that gap. You don't want to have a lot of product underneath your eyes to prevent creasing. You don't want that. The bridge of my nose, you want to make sure to center this so you don't have a crooked nose. It is how you highlight your nose that you get the shape you want. If you do something different, you'll have something different. So that is the lightest shade. I'll go ahead and blend that first. So to blend that, I'm using this brush. I'm supposed to use a compact brush, which makes it easier, but I decided to use this one because I might have applied a little too much and I don't want it moving around so much too. But anyway, let's just go in with the compact brush, and you start blending from the edge, not from the middle. Okay, you blend from the edge, so to have that seamless blend first before you go in towards the middle. Blend from the edge, and the one you put at the edge of your eyes just to further like give definition, a winged definition to your eyes for when you want to apply your eyeshadow. So you can blend this a bit towards your tear duct area. Okay, you can decide to let this sit for a while if you want a brighter look, but we are assuming we're in a hurry and we do not have time, so just blend this with the little time we have, and try to be very careful with your eyes while blending this. And it's also okay to bring this to your nose area. I didn't apply there because I felt like I had too much up here, and when I blend I'll use the excess to like put here and on my chin, but that depends. Let's blend and see. So I didn't put so much on the bridge of my nose and a straight line all the way up and down because I can always blend upwards or downwards depending. So you can see that obvious look you have here now after highlighting. So I'll put back my wig now. And then I'll blend this part. Okay, so as you can see my face, I have applied my foundation and I've used my concealer to highlight. So I'll just further go, I'll go ahead to contour now. And for contour is just to bring shadow into your face, like I say all the time. So I put some of the contour shade. I'm using the LA Girl Pro concealer in the shade Toffee to contour. I'll put some on this my palette right here. You need to go in with smaller brushes. Blending brushes are easier to use for smaller areas, like smaller blending brushes like to contour your nose. I'll go in with this brush. It's a little bit angled. Okay, I'll just tap there, and then see the angled nature of the brush helps it makes it easier for you to apply this. So from your eyebrows to this position, I just do it from the side of my nose, starting from this point, just a little bit. Don't need to bring it all the way down because usually contour shades are like very pigmented, so if you apply too much you find it hard to blend everything away, which will further make your nose look too sculpted and unreal. So you can blend this into your brows. Okay, so you can see it's giving further definition to the shape of my nose. Like, you can bring it forward or you can stop here and sculpt here depending on the shape of nose you're going for. So I personally do different types of shapes at different times, but this is like my go-to shape of nose. I just follow the natural shape of my nose, which is not so pointy, but it's closer to this, and this looks better for me. And the next place you want to contour is like the underneath your cheekbones, the natural depth you have here, where these hairs end mostly like from the top of your ears or from like the middle of your ears down. It's supposed to be traced down this way. So in order to get that more easily, you can do this and then follow that. But you don't need to bring it all the way down here. You just follow that, and when blending, always make sure you don't blend downwards, blend upwards if you must, but try to keep it on this line here. Okay, that's just to bring more depth and shape, the natural shadows. And then on this point too. Okay, yeah, apply here and just blend. And depends on the shape of your face, you can also apply here and here, but I think my forehead is okay. For people who have larger foreheads, you might want to apply a little bit more here, so it's like this, like this, like this, and like that. So here there is also like a natural depth here, and under here you can decide to do that to make here look more obvious, your chin. I do that sometimes. Okay, so after doing that here, I'll do the same here. Just make sure not to get this on your cheekbones. You can also decide to apply this and leave it for a few seconds before blending in. Okay, this is getting on my nerves now. My complexion changes a lot during the winter. I become a lot lighter. My skin becomes a lot lighter. So if you notice, my contour shade is just looking not so dark. But I also have this concealer from Huda Beauty. I can add a little of that to further sculpt my face, just a little bit. It's darker than the LA Girl Pro concealer I just used, so I'll add this a little bit more. Okay, that is more obvious. Okay, now that looks snatched already. And then when blending, you want to go in with an angled blending brush, so just tap that like that to keep it there, and then you blend away upwards, a little bit upwards. Forehead area. So you just tap, keeping it on the same place where you applied. You don't need to hurry, nobody is pursuing you. And a bit upwards. So you see the difference. My face looks a bit put together now. Okay. Here, you just blend the harsh lines between the highlight and the contour, so that there is no demarcation where the highlight stopped and where the contour started. Then I'll just use the remaining on this brush to blend here again with the darker shade. I don't want too much. What you don't want to do is to contour your nose too much. It's just going to make you look like a doll, which is not what I like to go for, but some people like it. I like my makeup to look as close to natural as possible. So I blend that down a little. Now this looks more snatched. I still look like myself, but you know, with a little bit of makeup. It's when you overdo things that you tend to just look so different. I like to go in again with the shade of my concealer this time. You can decide to leave it like this, and then especially when you want to bake, you set and then you apply a little bit more of setting powder to bake. But this is winter, my skin is very dry. I try not to bake. My battery is almost dying, so I just need a little bit here to further brighten this area. That's why I'm applying this, and I'm not using a shade that is too light. This is actually like my foundation shade, so more like my skin tone. I'll just let it sit for a while and then blend it gently, like just tap 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 a little to get what I'm going for.